In the past couple of years, I've seen many bodies of water, and it doesn't matter what I'm near, a lake, a river, a stream, a pond, an ocean. I just feel like I'm in my element. When I was in the 10th grade, we were asked to do a project where we made shields that represented who we were. We were to use symbols and elements. With this project, I was able to express myself in a way that I hadn't been able to in a long time. I remember it vividly. It reads, "My shield expresses the deep emotions in my life. The chosen animal elements are the lion, butterfly, clam, and parrot. The lion represents strength to overcome struggles in my life. The butterfly represents changes I have been through and will continue to experience. The clam represents new discoveries, and the parrot represents how colorful life can be. The bird elements, being the dove, swan, and seagull, represent a longing for freedom, elegance, beauty, and happiness. The rose represents a longing for true love, while the grass field represents an escape from the problems of life. The daisy is a symbol of friendship. The ocean represents where I was born and the place where I feel most at home. The sun and the stars represent dreams and thoughts. All of the colors represent my inner self and a sense of calmness and peace." My name is Carissa, and this is my story of self-sabotage. Once upon a time, there was a little girl with big hopes and dreams. She wanted to dance and sing like Selena and Janet Jackson. She wanted to draw and paint and be an artist like Bob Ross. She wanted to serve others and help others in some way in her life. She wanted to write stories and books and poems, and she wanted to succeed in her academics to make her father proud. Hola sunflowers, I opened a little time capsule today. Welcome back. If you're a new visitor, thank you for joining. Today I want to talk about self-sabotage. It's something that I've struggled with in my life due to trauma, poor relationships, and partially my ADHD, but it's really had an effect on me in ways that make me feel like I am behind or less than. It really has given me a sense of insecurity that I really have never been able to fully get through. I look at these pictures and they bring me so much nostalgia and remembering the good times from when I was little. But sadly, it also makes me think of the things that I was truly struggling with when I was little. Unfortunately, I always seemed to be the object of somebody's abuse, whether it was verbal abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. I've been harmed in ways that are unspeakable, and a lot of the time it was by people that I trusted or that I cared about. If I wasn't being told that I couldn't do something or that I wasn't good enough to do something, I was being bullied, or someone was taking advantage of me in ways that a small child should never have to be taken advantage of or harmed. If it wasn't that, I was dealing with females that wanted to play the competition game and prove to me how much better they were, or they would go to excessive lengths to one-up me or show me that they were better than me. It always seemed that I was very trusting, but it also seemed like I was easily taken advantage of. I was very naive growing up. I mean, naive to the point where I didn't think that people got cheated on. I didn't even know what that was in like the 7th grade until I had a boyfriend for the first time and I got cheated on. So, you know, I was just really naive. I kind of trusted everybody. I wanted everybody around me to get along and to be happy, and I really learned the hard way what the result of being too trusting and loving can do in some cases. But this little girl right here loved to do so many things, but my main passion was dancing and singing. As long as I can remember, I was always singing or I was dancing. I always wanted to put on shows for my family. I loved to write. I was always writing stories and making books and poems, and I even got voted best story writer in the 1st grade. I totally wanted to draw and paint all the time. I really loved Bob Ross and I wanted to paint like Bob Ross when I was really young. I even made my own business cards, which was pretty cool, or at least I thought it was pretty cool. I made them at Pistol Pete's Pizza, if anybody remembers that. I always wanted to have good academics. I was always on AB honor roll. I graduated from a performing arts high school with awards and achievements. I always wanted to make my dad proud. That was a big goal of mine. The only time I think I ever did bad in school was when I went through my little chola phase, which, that was a lot of fun. But I learned my lessons and I got back on track and I continued to do the things that I enjoyed. Thanks to my little Nana, she gave me a lot of nurturing and she was always trying to tell me that I was doing a good job. She always reminded me that I needed to keep a relationship with God. Thanks to my cousin, I got to serve at my church for many years. I had little kiddos that looked up to me at church. I eventually graduated from a college and got my degree with a focus in dance and psychology, and I continued to dance. I was given opportunities to teach dance. I danced from the age of 9 all the way up to about, I would say, like 2 years ago. I haven't really danced much since we moved out here to San Francisco, but I hope to get back into it at some point. But with all this being said, I unfortunately struggle with what's known as self-sabotage, and I feel like I could have maybe mastered something completely of all of these things that I've done here had I not procrastinated or had low self-esteem or didn't believe that I was capable of doing certain things. I always had it in the back of my mind that somehow I wasn't good enough. That eventually led me to having imposter syndrome, which I will talk about in a different video. But I definitely have a goal to heal. This is my healing journey, and I hope that I can encourage or inspire someone else to get out of self-sabotage and heal themselves from the things that they don't talk about. Because while I haven't achieved the goals that I would have liked to, in these areas, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop. So going forward, I will be continuing to pursue goals, and I will take you on that journey with me as I do it. Part of my healing journey was forgiving those who caused me harm. And now I must continue to heal myself and love myself in the ways that I wasn't. God didn't bring me this far just to leave me, and while I have breath in my lungs, I will continue to strive for the goals that are embedded in my heart. Dear little me, I'm going to love you in the ways that you never were, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to heal you from the struggles that you don't talk about. So what is self-sabotage? Self-sabotage is defined as behaviors that undermine one's own success. Here are some signs that you may be struggling with self-sabotage. Examples in personality traits can be perfectionism or anxiety, emphasis on achievement or lack of validation. Social pressures can be competitive environments, burnout, or over-preparation. Here are some ways that you can begin to heal from self-sabotage. 1. Recognize behavioral patterns. 2. Challenge negative thoughts and beliefs. 3. Set realistic goals and break them down. 4. Practice self-compassion. 5. Seek support and accountability. If you or someone you know is being abused or may be thinking about self-harm, please call the numbers listed. And as always, remember to stay healthy and hydrated, my friends. I hope this video helped you in some way. Thank you so much for watching.